This waitress didn't know she was being recorded. What happened next changed her life forever. 18-year-old Yvonne Williams left for her shift, just like any other day. It was a regular workday for the young girl, who worked as a waitress at Waffle House in La Marque, Texas. Little did she know that her life was going to turn around in just a few hours. Yvonne began her day as usual, serving coffee and breakfast to hungry customers. The teenager worked full-time at Waffle House to save up for college. She always dreamt of running her own restaurant someday. Every day, she put on a sweet smile and served the customers. Like any other restaurant, this Waffle House had some loyal patrons who came here for breakfast on a regular basis. Adrian Charpentier was one such elderly patron. Adrian was famously known as Mr. Karaoke in his circle, as he loved to sing at the local seniors group. But being an aging gentleman, he hadn't been keeping well and was suffering from several ailments. That day, Yvonne was having quite a busy shift. The cafe was bustling, with many customers lining up for their orders. Yvonne was already preoccupied when she heard the cook call for her to pick up an order. As she turned to get it, she heard a trembling voice. Yvonne had known Adrian well, as he was a regular patron. Instantly, she recognized his voice. Adrian needed help with something and was calling out to her. Lately, the old man had been in and out of the hospital due to several health issues. Today, he couldn't even hold his fork and knife together. With trembling hands, he helplessly tried to cut his food and pick it up. The poor man had been experiencing weakness in his muscles for several days. When she heard his voice, Yvonne stopped in her track. She turned around and walked up to Adrian. Then, she did something that took the onlookers by surprise and left them in awe of her. That day, Yvonne set an example as she did something that wasn't really part of her job description. She greeted Adrian and gave him her usual warm smile. Then, she gently took his plate and cut up the ham. As she helped him with his food, Yvonne struck a friendly conversation with Adrian. While she thought it was part of her duty, her small act of kindness wasn't going to go unnoticed. Laura Wolf was another regular customer at the restaurant. That day, Laura was sitting right behind Adrian. She was enjoying her food when she heard the old man call out for help. As Laura looked on, she noticed the young waitress walk up to Adrian. As Yvonne cut up the ham and helped him with his food, Laura recorded the whole incident on her phone. Even after she had finished her breakfast and left the restaurant, she couldn't help but think about that small act. Later that day, she posted the photo on Facebook. She wanted everyone to know and draw inspiration from this little story. Today, I heard this elderly man ask for help as his hands didn't work too well, she wrote. Then, she went on to describe how the young waitress stepped in to help the poor man. Laura wrote that Yvonne was so busy that she could have easily chosen to ignore the old man and walk past him. But instead, she paused all her work and went out of her way to listen to him. If only we could all be like this waitress and take time to offer a helping hand. Laura ended her post. Soon enough, the post went viral and was shared by thousands of people. Yvonne was surprised when someone showed her the post but didn't think too much of it. For her, it was always a part of her job. When Adrian was asked about it, he expressed his gratitude towards the young girl. I had no coordination, no feeling, no strength in my hands, he said. While Yvonne appreciated all the support and love, she resumed her daily duties. However, this was far from over. The young girl had touched so many hearts with that small deed that there was going to be another, bigger surprise in store for her. Her post was shared so many times that it ultimately reached La Marque Mayor, Bobby Hocking. Upon reading the post, the mayor couldn't help but feel immense pride in the young girl. "It is absolutely wonderful that the younger generation cares about the older generation," he said. And so, he declared March 8th as Yvonne Williams Day in La Marque. This day would remind the younger generation to always be kind and help others wherever possible. And then came the biggest surprise for the 18-year-old. Yvonne, who had always been saving up to go to college, woke up to the news that would change her life. Her story had gone so far as to reach Texas Southern University. Touched by her act, the institution presented her with a $16,000 scholarship. "All roads lead to Texas Southern. Welcome to Tigerland, Yvonne," the university announced. Then, she was also assigned a counselor to help her begin her course in business management. Of course, even Waffle House was extremely proud of their employee. "We are so proud of Yvonne. She is an all-star," they said. Although Yvonne had acted out of kindness without expecting any reward, she was happy that everyone had been so kind to her. And yet, the young woman believes that she was only doing her job. "It is something I would do for anybody," she said with her usual sweet, warm smile.